Dishan, are you here?
Yes, thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Kesh. I think you've done my bit for me. Yeah, but I'm sure you're all excited to see ZenConnect in action. So without further ado, let me get straight into it. And as Kesh mentioned the beginning, we can then have some Q&A thereafter. Just a word from my end, as Murphy would always have it. We've been notified that we are undergoing payment gateway and cloud hosting updates. So I'm hoping that won't affect our walkthrough. As Keshni mentioned, we quite strong on security. So it's a Sunday, and it seems like we are being updated as we speak. So let me just share my screen with you. Please let me know when you see my screen.
Yes, we can see it, Dishan.
Okay, perfect. So logging into ZenConnect, this is basically what we call the practitioner dashboard. This is your snapshot of your practice in its entirety, from the clients to the courses, to the amount of sales you've done, your remaining courses, any appointments that you've got remaining, upcoming appointments, you're selling your inventory items. And again, I'll get into this now. I just want to just explain briefly what the dashboard is about. And it's just a snapshot really of your practice as a whole, right? Getting into ZenConnect, we first would start off by, once you've gone through your subscription process, we will start by your profile. And this is important because, as Keshni mentioned, you've got once you are a subscriber, you actually get listed onto the Zen directory, and that's a directory of all practitioners, which basically speaks about and showcases your bio, your information, your specializations, and so forth. So you've got a section in here where you could basically edit your profile, your practice numbers, your contact details, your business name, your specializations, which is multi completion. It's multi sort of select, and your cities, a bio about yourself, and you're able to update this information. Now, I have pre-filled and pre-populated quite a bit of the information for purposes of time, but I will go through every bit just to show you how everything fits together and comes together on the platform. Thereafter, we've got a section which is your subscription information, which just speaks about your plan name, your amount of appointments that you've got within your plan, how many days remaining on your plan. We've got a section for documents, which is documents that you could either showcase as, your client intake forms, your qualifications, any sort of correspondence that you would want, client facing, or even practitioners that engage you as well, that you would want them, to either complete or to be aware of before your sort of sessions with them, or alternatively before you engage one another. And then we've got a section around bank information. And the reason why we ask for that is because, as Keshni mentioned, we accept payments on your behalf for your courses, as well as your trainings or your sessions that are scheduled. So we request this bits of information. That very simple, the name, the account name, and this is just basically as an update for us when a request for payment is sort of put through. We will validate this as well, but this is just so that we've got the first level of information from there. So this would be setting up your profile on ZenConnect. Once this is done, you would now be able to be seen in the sort of business directory, or the Zen directory as we call it, and you would be visible to all practitioners and potential clients or clients that come onto the platform. Getting into the My Account section, My Account basically is just a summary of your courses that you've taken and the appointments that you have. For example, you would see that I've got an appointment scheduled. It's got a start time and end time. It's got a space for your courses. So any courses that you've purchased, you are able to view them and be able to see exactly what the courses are and where you are with regards to the status or the progress. And Keshni mentioned earlier around CPD, which is your course summary. So as you complete a course, as well as manually, if you've taken courses outside of ZenConnect, through other providers or whatever the case may be, you are able to add this information in. So from the registration to the completion, the practitioner sort of designation, the authority, the practitioner number, the name of the course, training provider, the CPD points or the hours, and you're able to attach the certificate as well. And when you do save that, what actually happens is that you start having sort of a repository or a table of all your courses that you've actually taken. So this is basically to help you manage and sort of record all your CPD points or CPD hours that has been taken prior within, during the year, whatever the case may be. Customers, we have a section around customers. So every time you have a new customer that comes to you, You add them into the platform, quite simple, first name, last name, email address, contact number, save, and they would basically be added in this way, in sort of this table. If you do have a list of customers already, you can import them into the platform, and we would just ask that you follow our import customer template, which is quite easy to just get a sort of example of and open, and you are able to now look at this format of your sort of your customer list, and you are able to import this into zenconnekt. So you just choose the file, you select the import button and close, or import it, it would close automatically and upload all your customers into zenconnekt, right? Customer appointments. This is the section where you would basically be able to view any appointments that you have with your customers or your clients, and you would be able to, at this section, understand it or input session notes. So every time you have a session, for example, you could have the notes inputted, and you could share these notes with the client, or you could just keep it privately, and this would be a sort of record or repository of information that you would have for that particular session or appointment that was booked. Getting into the courses, customer courses, this is a section of who has purchased your course and what that course title was. So basically just showing you the courses that were purchased that you've actually created as a practitioner. Inventory, there are a lot of practitioners that do, that sell products or services. So what we've done on zenconnekt is we've built a section to create where you can add your own inventory and manage your inventory and monitor stock levels and expiry of stock, for example. And this is simply, done by creating a new inventory, adding a quantity, for example, adding the inventory name, a cost price, a selling price of the item, and we automatically calculate the profit for you. Any expiry of that particular good or product that you're selling, and inventory low level alerts. So why we've got this is that when you reach a specific level of inventory, be it 5 in this case, you would be notified by the platform to tell you that you are running low on that particular item. So this would just be a test inventory, and you are able to, oh, my apologies for spelling, test inventory, and you just save this, and you would have now created an inventory record for yourself for that particular item. You are able to edit, delete these inventory items as and when required. Getting into coupons, this is quite a really important feature, we think for zenconnekt. Reason being is, as a practitioner, you are able to create coupons. So you would have your own profile on the platform, and what you could do is you could create coupons for users to actually buy your products or services at a discount if required. So for example, you've got spring now, and or you've got mental awareness month, you've got spring, you could have specific promotions that could be either on the courses that you provide, on the appointments or the sessions that you've actually created. You just simply add the coupon name, what the discount percentage is, the number of uses, being how many times you would want that coupon to be used, or the redemption of, the start date and the end date of that coupon, and you would just type in a description for yourself for you to remember why that coupon was created, and you could actually change the status to active or inactive for that particular coupon, right? Getting back, saving it, this is a record that I've already done. So every time, a coupon is used, for example, it will tell you that the coupon, the coupon has been redeemed twice, and you've got 10 users in total. So you've got basically 8 remaining, and the start date and the end date for that particular coupon. Getting into availability, Keshni briefly spoke about it. This is basically how you set your availability within zenconnekt, and you would first be prompted for a time zone. And thereafter, you would have these radio buttons that you could basically go in and, sort of activate or make active and add in a time slot. Bearing in mind that when you add a time slot in, this would be per session. So for example, if your sessions are usually an hour, you would have, if you've got 10 to 11 sort of AM available, you would make that 10 to 11 AM, and you could then create another time slot, which would be maybe from 11:15 to 11:45, for a little bit of a break, but you are able to fully customize your availability. And what the suggestion is here is that, many of us have multiple calendars, and, it does become a bit of a challenge to sync into all these calendars. So what we found works best is for you to block out the time on your main calendar, as zenconnekt time, for example, and use that blocked out time and allocate it accordingly onto the zenconnekt, onto the platform. And that would basically give you that block time for zenconnekt and be able to then allow your clients to schedule appointments accordingly. You're able then to add in a session price. So the session price I've just got in here, 50 Rand, we can just make it 450 Rand. And what this basically does is it then shows you the price and it shows you your income that you would get after zenconnekt deducts its fee. We obviously need to have certain fee structure in place for us to provide the maintenance and the support, the compliance and the security, and basically just the upkeep of the platform. So we deduct a 25 Rand fee for that, and that would be setting your availability, right? Getting into your courses. This would be the last section that you would need to complete as a practitioner, and I'll show you how everything sort of pulls through to the front. When you're creating a course, it's quite straightforward to do so. You would just add in the course title, the description of the course, you choose a thumbnail, the provider name, any accreditation number, CPD points or CPD hours. If there's a percentage to pass, your price for that particular course, we can just put this at 1,000. And again, zenconnekt deducts 10% for the courses created, and that would be your income thereafter that you would get after the zenconnekt fees for the maintenance, the hosting, the storage, and so forth. The specializations of that particular course, which is multi-select, and you could have the status of the course being active or inactive, reason being some courses may be for a particular period in time or whatever the case may be, and so you've got the ability to do that. When you are busy, once you've done that, you are able to now add in the resources. We give you the options to add in videos, resources such as documents or assessments. So you are able to upload videos onto the platform up to 100 meg, bearing in mind that the larger the file, the longer the upload time and so forth. You guided on the type of files that you can upload. With a title, for example, you would upload on zenconnekt. So that's a standard sort of button there, and you would just upload or choose the file and upload the file. That was for the videos. When we get into the resources, this could be any handouts, any documents, really any sort of takeaways that you would want to give away on your course. It's a matter of just adding in the title, uploading the resource, and it's saving and displaying as such in this particular table. And the last section is around the assessments, which is around your questions. So you could have questions that are sort of built in from a multi-select or apologies, let me go through a pre-completed one. Let's just go here. You could have questions that are, for example, single answer or multi-select, and you would just type in the question, and then you would move over to the side and add in the options and select the right sort of the checkbox for the correct answer. And when you're done, you simply click finished, and it would load the question into the question bank sort of repository. And once you are done adding any questions in, you've basically created your course. You are able to, edit it, delete it. We've even got a preview function that we built in. So this is what the course would look like for the course takers. You would have the video that we've just uploaded. You would have the resources available in the next section that are, you could preview and download, and you would have the assessment questions that you have created as you go through this. And that would be the course preview section. So now taking a step back, what you've actually done is you've basically edited your profile. You've created your account or managed your account from a CPD point of view. So any additional CPD that you would have taken from other external providers or whatever the case may be, any courses that you've bought, any sessions that you've scheduled, you've got visibility of that. You've updated your customers or imported your customers into the platform. If you are an inventory practice, you are able to put in or list your inventory items as well as the expiry dates, the low-level stock alerts, the descriptions, and so forth. You are able to now, I'll get into the invoicing now. You've created coupons, which basically now you could distribute to various clients of yours that you could, that for promotions that you are running. You've added your availability, which basically shows your available time slots for clients to book online through zenconnekt. And you've created a course, which for people could basically come and buy courses, be it a client or a practitioner, right? So getting into the invoicing section. Invoicing is pretty straightforward. We try to keep it as simple as possible. You would simply just click the create button. You would search your customer name. So that would be the customer that you've just added into the platform. You would select the invoice date. The invoice numbers are pre-populated So, and they're uneditable, so that you don't really have duplicate invoice numbers and so forth. You've got a deliver to address in case you need to deliver, or any other notes. You've got a status for that particular invoice, being paid, unpaid, partially paid. Your inventory items, again, these are items that are loaded within my inventory, and if it is not there, you just simply click add inventory and add the item in there, and you would just keep that, and it would automatically pull the pricing information through, as well as the stock. If you wanted to provide any discounts, say call it 10%, if you needed to add any taxes on there, you would basically add the taxes, and you would simply save the invoice. And that is your invoice created. You are able to now have the status, you're able to have a running view of your unpaid invoices, your paid invoices, and what you are able to also do is, for example, you can view this invoice. This is what the invoice would actually look like. So you would have your practitioner information, you would have your customer information, any delivered to, your invoice details, and you would get the sort of description and the total value of the order and the stock. You could print this and PDF it and send it through to your clients. You could send invoices. Either works fine. We find that sometimes, depending, especially nowadays with many mail servers, there are lots of servers being blocked, mail and those kinds of things. So we would always, if you are going to use this feature, that's fine, but maybe just follow up with a PDF download and forward it through to your clients manually as well. So that is around the invoicing. When we get into now the Zen Learning, so Zen Learning would be what clients would see when they actually, Zen Directory would be what clients would see when they actually come onto the platform and they search for you, right? So they would just search for you, and this is my profile. And what this does is basically everything that you filled into your profile, it gives that information, right? So you've got a profile, the documents that you would have uploaded, where you're from, and you've got your availability. So you could simply click, okay, I want to book with Dishen, for example, on the 8th of September or 9th of September, and I want to book, that's my available time slot, because that's what I've done on my availability. And I could basically just select that, and the coupon that you've applied, that coupon that we created earlier, you could give it to your clients. They could just apply that, and they would get the 10% discount on your course, your appointment, my apologies, and you would simply just place the order. And what would happen is that it would go through the payment gateway as normal. As you can see, we use Paystack, one of the larger payment gateways in the world, sister company of Stripe payments. And you would see that, they would be billed for the 405 Rand with these details. And once the payment is made, both the practitioner would get an email with the client with an attachment with the ICS file, and that, on your calendar, that would be just saved, and you would have record of this appointment on your calendar. Similarly, on Zen Learning as well, for the courses that you've created, we would just search for the course. Let's just perhaps just do business, and we would see this is the course that we've created. You would get an overview of the course. You would get an overview of the instructor, and you would, in this case, I've already purchased the course, so you would just take the course and you are able to basically go through it. If you haven't finished it, for example, you could go back and it would show status as in progress. And if you have completed it, it still allows you to, get the certificate, which is a zenconnekt certificate. It's just something that we wanted to provide as a course completion on the platform. But for those that are providing a more formal CPD or marks to pass type of, qualification, we urge the course taker to reach out to you to get the certificate from there.